love, so powerful and so deep that it stretched arms wide, hands and feet pierced, and I don't know how to comprehend that kind of love. A Christ-like love is surrendered and vulnerable, so open that it's willing to allow immense pain and suffering in order to truly love the other. The kind of love that bears burdens, willing to pay any cost, a love that chooses to be hurt so the beloved can be healed, willing to die so they can have life. And isn't that how Christ loved us? Isn't it interesting? In all four Gospels, after rising from the dead, his focus was still on how much he loved the lost. Immediately in Matthew, he says, go make disciples. In Mark, go into all the world and proclaim the gospel. In Luke, proclaim repentance for the forgiveness of sin. In John, feed my sheep. So how does living in the light of that kind of love change the entire game for us? What if we could see that a beautiful life is a life laid down for others? What if Jesus' way is supposed to be the model for how we live? What if he meant it when he said, go therefore and make disciples? What if, like him, we should have one thing on our minds, and that's free the slaves, like Harriet Tubman on that underground train? What if we're all meant to die like him so we could rise like him, to love like him, to serve like him? What if life is really meant to be lived upside down and backwards? What if the good life is really a life poured out? What if you have to die to live and not the other way around? What if poverty is the new rich and brokenness equals power? What if we've had it all wrong all along and suffering is the way to hope? Doubts can exist with belief. Pain walks with joy. Wisdom seems foolish. And what looks like defeat is how we triumph. Like Christ, who appeared defeated, but in reality succeeded to overcome sin in the grave so we could have a full transformation, a redeemed creation, no more separation, eternal liberation, legal justification, our soul salvation, and the extraordinary anticipation of his return, when death shall be no more, and our light shall be the Lord. The story is gory, it's true. The king died a torturous death for you. But the end isn't as tragic as it started. The lamb was slain, the lion resurrected, the temple destroyed, but in 3 days re-erected. Thank God for his death, which paid the debt we couldn't afford. But like Paul said, if he hadn't been raised, our preaching is in vain. Our faith is in vain. Our life is in vain. It's because he rose that the gospel is good news. The Lord, who is the reason we have breath, gave up his own to redeem us, to free us. So how then should we live? Well, your commission, should you choose to accept it, is to choose repentance over your sin, choose love and service to him, choose the death that leads to life, choose to go into the darkness and be the life, choose an important life over a comfortable one. Love like Christ, lay down your life, and feed his sheep. Wow.